As the society is becoming more aware and accepting of the queer folk, you sometimes stop to wonder whether it's really acceptance or simply the over-sexualization of it all. So on a previous episode, I was with Fridah, if you can remember it, we were discussing porn, and we talked about how gay porn gets a lot of straight folk off, and today I found it fit to invite Joyce over. Hi, Joyce.
Hi, Adrian.
Yes, so that she can at least share her sentiments on the fetishization of the queer folk. So how are you doing?
I'm good. And you?
Yeah, so maybe for the sake of listeners, tell us, where do you fall on the spectrum, and are you single?
I fall under the Q, which means queer.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I'm not single.
Do you care to expound what that really means?
Queer is more of a political term.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually means people who are not heterosexual. Yeah, and they do not really fall under any of the other terms that like bisexual or lesbian or so it's just basically just queer. It's an umbrella term.
Right. So can the umbrella term be broken down, or it's just that?
No, it's just that.
Okay. Well, it's a good day to learn. So what do you think of this whole issue on fetishization, and has it ever happened to you?
First of all, I think of it as extremely problematic.
Yeah.
And mostly it has been brought about with a lot of people watching porn and thinking what they actually see on porn is what they should incorporate in their lives, in their sex lives.
Mm-hmm.
And it has happened to me before, and I'm sure many of queer or lesbian folk or bisexual women will have to agree with me. Like a man asks you if about your sexual orientation,
mm-hmm.
and the moment you say you don't play for that team,
mm-hmm.
then they see it as an opportunity for you to perform some funny or some sexual acts with them, with another woman in the same room.
In their presence.
Yeah.
Jeez, that, I was reading a bit about it, and there was someone who was expressing her frustration on how she has to pretend that she's okay with everything, that the over-sexualization of it all, and she's overtly bisexual, but it took her a while to to declare to the world that she is indeed bisexual, and it exposed her to propositions, to threesomes and assumptions that it's just strange that people think that you're open to dating more than one person. I think she went on to say that these seemingly harmless and normalized forms of sexual harassment, they don't stand alone. They reflect the larger issue of sexual violence, harassment, and interpersonal violence against queer women, and more specifically women of color. I don't know if you can shed light on that, because I haven't experienced it personally, but I've seen it happen to some people.
Well, there are like a lot of women who actually pretend to be bisexual, just so they can fulfill the sexual fantasies of their male partners.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up doing that. They end up maybe getting to even eating out vagina,
mm-hmm.
and they don't even like it, but they just do it to satisfy their males. And they're thinking, maybe if I don't agree to it, he's gonna have it from somebody else. And it's just the fear of losing their person or their partner that actually makes them do it. This actually is a bit problematic, and
mm-hmm.
it's actually, at the end of it all, it paints bisexual women in a bad way.
Yeah, I guess that explains the presumption about you'd want a threesome definitely, because now there's a guy and a chick in the room, etc., right?
Yeah.
That's kind of. But did you see how Kodak Black came at a young MA?
Yeah, I saw it, and it was extremely problematic and disrespectful.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to approach this if we need to address the queer fetishization. But people thinking that dick is the way to correct someone who is openly what's her orientation? She's a lesbian.
Yeah,
right?
I think she identifies as lesbian.
Yeah, so imagine us thinking that our dicks are so good that I don't know, it's a misguided concept in my opinion. That dick can turn or make one straight, and once you taste it, you'll now become. I think you've heard of those before, right?
Yeah, I have, and it's actually a very problematic view, because it perpetuates the violence against lesbian women, because there is something called as corrective rape, where a woman is actually raped and by people, assailants who know that she is gay or she is queer or she is lesbian, and they're doing it because they want to make her change her mind, and it's actually a lot of women die from it. A lot of women have just committed suicide and stressful life, and there are actually recorded lived experiences of such women who have undergone it.
Yikes. As in, does it also come from women? Because I'm getting this is from men mostly, right? The thing about corrective rape.
Yeah, corrective rape. It actually sometimes cuts across women, because there are some women who hate women. It's called internalized hate.
Yeah.
And some women actually believe if you get dick, you're going to change. It's going to change your life. It's going to change how you see men, and how you're not going to have pussy ever again in your life, because apparently dick is sweet. So
they set you up.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And the not so funny part, it's mostly from your family.
They think that I see where it's coming from. Yeah, there's an internalized homophobia that makes people just think that if you go straight you won't go back or whatever. Yeah,
but mostly internalized homophobia is within LGBTIQ people. It's internalized hate that we're talking about, where women hate women.
Yeah.
Internalized homophobia is where homosexual persons or people who identify under the LGBTIQ spectrum, they have these views that are actually problematic to even homosexuals themselves.
It's
I can imagine how you feel.
Yeah, this is some heavy stuff.
It is.
What do you think can be done? What message do you think we need to pass across that will make it clear that your orientation cannot be changed or turned, or how can we really salvage this situation?
I think people need to know that it's not a choice, that I am the way I am or somebody else is the way they are.
Yeah.
Because heterosexuality is not, it's not like somebody is just born and voila, I'm heterosexual. It's not the guaranteed sexuality for everybody.
Yeah.
So the moment we realize it's not a choice, that some people are born gay and lesbian and everything else, that's the mentality that's going to save us from all this violence and all these nasty things that we have to go through every day.
Right. Hey, I believe at this point we have at least come to an agreeable conclusion that what needs to be corrected is the mentality, not the sexuality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And maybe we should wind up at that point today. We would love to hear your thoughts on this, guys. Drop us a comment and let us get to the heart of the matter. What are your thoughts on the over-sexualization of queer folk and the consequent normalized sexual harassment? Before we wind this up, maybe we can get to know Joyce a little better. How do you think about that, Joyce?
Yeah, I don't mind.
We have a little trivia going on here, so are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here goes. What is that one sweet spot that always gets missed?
I think it's my lower back, I guess. Yeah, actually not I guess, I know it's my lower back.
Do you tell them to go there and they just don't do it, or what happens really?
I rarely ask. I just take your hand and put it there.
Okay, so porn or erotica?
Definitely porn. Yeah, I'm a visual being.
Right.
Yeah.
You're voyeur. So do you like it slow and smooth or rough?
Slow and smooth, definitely, because I think of myself as an extremely sensual being.
But it doesn't mean you can be sensual rather when you are rough, does it?
Well, I think when you're rough, you concentrate more on being rough than than the sentimental side.
Okay, maybe to each their own, please. Yeah. So I suppose we can end it there, and it is bye from me and Joyce here.
Bye.
Bye, guys.